What's up, everybody? It's Earthborn Alien coming at you with more Remnant 2, and today we're going to talk about mutators. And the first on the list today is going to be momentum. Now, we are going to shoot at some dummies, but that's not going to be the entirety of the video because of twisting wounds. The dummies don't actually bleed, and it's not a good showcase. Plus, I get a lot of neckbeards in the comments that get really angry for me not killing bosses. So we're dropping into Apocalypse difficulty. We are going to shoot at some bosses. I'm going to show you the differences between these mutators. On the left-hand side, you can see the overall stats there. On the right hand, you can see the traits that I like to go with. Now, Anchor of Power, probably the best way to go because it kind of offsets that Ring of Expanse. Double checking my relic there, I realized in the last boss fight I was going for, I was pumping a lot of range damage, so that's a big mistake. Take that off. Always prioritize your critical damage and your weak spot damage when doing stuff like this. So that's about it. Those are the jewelry items for this. And of course, Sagittarius is pretty much going to be the highlight of all of this here. All right, so this is momentum up first. Now, I did get a commenter telling me that momentum is just theoretical more damage, which, you know, kind of made me want to make this video because it's not just theoretical more damage. It is more damage, whether you like it or not. And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at Supercharger. In the boss fights coming up, there's the drop down of the stats there on the left. I feel like I probably could have done better justice to both momentum and Supercharger. Sorry, I wanted to be quiet for a second and listen to these. These are all really good shots. So Supercharger, getting that increased charge speed there is actually really nice. And then, of course, twisting wounds, which I'll talk about all the stuff that I can't talk about elsewhere because right now you're not going to be able to see much of anything. It doesn't actually bleed these dummies, so it's a wash. Speaking of jewelry, there's two pieces of jewelry I really want right now, and I know where to get the Archer's Crest. I'm working on that. That's a great ring. Probably going to swap Ring of Expanse out for that once I get it. But there's another ring I really, really want, and that is the Akari Warband. Now, if anybody has any information on where and how to get the Akari Warband, please drop that in the comments below because I cannot find any information on it, just that it does exist. I've seen a couple YouTubers using it or who have it, but there are no videos on specifically how to get it. This is why Crescent Moon's not a part of the conversation. If you're wondering how I got all my mutators up to plus 10, this was my strategy. There is, in fact, a much better, more efficient strategy in the Labyrinth. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but anyway, solo and doing things the hard way, I found out you could make this jump here so you don't actually have to have friends to glitch through the gate using a high five anymore. You could just make that jump anytime. Come over here, get your ass kicked by this guy a few times, and then reset the world. The Labyrinth is a much more efficient manner to do it. All right, so diving into the boss battles here. We're going to break out Sagittarius, of course. First, we're going to be looking at momentum, then Supercharger, then twisting wounds. Okay, slapping on momentum here. And we are popping our skills and heal at the 4 minutes 20-second mark. So let's keep that in mind. Now, momentum and twisting wounds were the only times I was able to deal enough damage to prevent this first spin here. It's never showcased in any of these three runs because ultimately the three good enough runs to get a good time here, I just kind of, I don't know, I whiffed on the first one, or it's a little bit RNG with your criticals there. But you can deal enough damage to interrupt that first spin, and I think you could probably just prevent every single spin. Now, the reason I think I did a bad job on momentum and supercharger is in between these phases when he's about to crash down on the terrain. I think I should be popping a heal to get the most out of that anchor of power. Um, but that's neither here nor there. I think momentum really got a bad run here. There's quite a few whiff shots, I think. Supercharger as well gets quite a few poorly placed shots. Um, the reason I didn't redo all of this over and over and over again is because I spent many, many hours on this, guys, trying to not only get like as good of a run as you can see right there. We're actually at plus 10 on momentum yet again, and that happens quite a bit. It's not hard to get momentum up to plus 10. I don't know why people think it's just theoretical damage. It's definitely the most possible per shot damage. um, you just need a boss with a good weak spot and you know, good aim. But yeah, basically this is it. We're just going to jump off once he's one shot. And on Supercharger, we're going to end up dying on that spin, but it's whatever. We're calling it right there. 6 minutes, 26 seconds. We popped heals and skills at 4 minutes, 20 seconds, so we'll just call that 2 minutes, 6 seconds. Now for Supercharger, again, I think Supercharger gets a bad shake here. I could be popping my relic in between phases. I whiff a few shots. My timing's not very good because I'm so rhythmically used to not using supercharger. Even though I worked on this for several hours, I still wasn't getting that really good perfect shot off as consistently as I would like to. And you can see a more than a few shots there missed the mark, so that's slightly annoying. Again, should be popping a relic here, getting the most out of that anchor of power, and we're not. That's unfortunate. I think I struggled the most with Supercharger, to be 100% with you, and I don't think that that's an issue with Supercharger per se, as so much as a skill issue on my end. Again, guys, don't think that this is the end-all, be-all, like, guide on what you need to be doing. This is just kind of where I'm coming from and how I feel about these mutators and what works best for me. And again, it's all going to depend on what boss you're fighting. And there's certain instances where Sagi's going to win out over Crescent Moon. There's other issues, certain circumstances where Crescent Moon's just going to be the better option than Sagittarius. It depends a lot on the situation that you're in. That was pretty good there. And we are, like I said, I'm going to whiff on the end of this. We're going to get killed here. Let me back this up for myself real quick. I'll be right back. I need to double check our times. Okay, we popped heals and skills at the 6 minute 50-second mark. It's coming up on 8 minutes now and 40 seconds. Let's see. I think we die right at 2 minutes. Yes, right at 2 minutes. So say I got a perfect dodge there and we let off another arrow, probably getting pretty close to that 2 minutes 6 seconds that we got with momentum. To be fair, we'll probably just call it 2 minutes 3 seconds. So we'll say Supercharger beat momentum in that run. Now, Twisting Wounds, I feel I got the most consistent runs with Twisting Wounds. A lot of that has to do with me not having to worry about Anchor of Power. We're always getting that 20% damage increase thanks to the Whetstone. Now, like I said, only Twisting Wounds and Momentum were able to deal enough damage in that first phase to prevent the first spin. For my experiences, again, it didn't get captured in any of these good enough runs to show you guys, but it can be done. I think that's going to be the last chance this man has to spin throughout this run, though, because Twisting Wounds just smacks. I'm really I think I'm personally leaning towards Twisting Wounds, and the Whetstone necklace is probably going to be what I'm running from now on. Um, and there's going to be very few instances where I choose much anything else. Like if I'm trying to kill the Root Nexus, I'll probably go Momentum, like I said. But other than the Root Nexus, there's really, I think it's probably going to be Twisting Wounds all the way. I can't really think of a boss where I super desperately need the Supercharger's utility, especially once I get that Archer's Crest. If I feel like if I need that utility, I think I can just get that from the Archer's Crest ring. Okay, we popped skills at 9 minutes, 6 seconds mark, and we're coming up to the kill shot here at 10 minutes, 47 seconds. He is dead. We're going to call that 1 minute, 41 seconds. I'm going to say Twisting Wounds wins. Thanks, guys, for watching. Peace.